Well, that end of the season was odd, wasn't it? We won the league. We did mess up the Conference League. And we're in the Champions League. We'll go thumbs up again for that, I think. We're in the Champions League. We've only got £5 million to put together a team to compete in the Champions League. This is going to be a weird transfer window. We're going to have to sell somebody. So, yeah, to summarise what went on in the last stream, we did win the league. It was touch and go towards the end. Bird did take over briefly. I've read the YouTube comments. It seems you either love Bird or hate Bird. And on that basis, Bird will never return to the channel because it's more important. Here's a content creation tip for you. It's more important in content creation to remove the stuff that people hate than include the stuff that people love. Because, yeah, you don't want to, I don't want half of you to go away. So the half of you that really, really loved Bird, I'm sorry, but there's just as many of you really, really hated him. So Bird has been banished. But we did win the league, as you can see. We did then bottle the Conference League final against Utrecht, mainly because we were in terrible form by the end of the season. And we just about managed to cling on to winning the league after being quite far ahead at one point. And we dropped out of everything else. I think at about this point of the stream, we were still on for four competition wins. But then in quick succession, we got knocked out of the Taça de Portugal placard. We lost the Allianz Cup final. We scraped our way through the semi-final of the Conference League against Hearts. And I mean scraped. We actually lost away against Hearts, which was embarrassing. And then we dropped a few points in and amongst all this in the league as well. We did do a formation change right at the death because the 4-3-3 tiki-taka we'd been doing just needed a shake-up. And we used a gegenpress to drag us over the finish line. We are going to go back to what got us here and go back to the 4-2-3-1 for the transfer window and for next season. But, yeah, it didn't get the job done in the final, unfortunately. So we are back in the Champions League where we belong. But the board have only given us £6 million budget. For context, that is less budget than I got at Servette when we qualified for the Champions League. We also don't have much in the way of wage budget. What we do have here, of course, is an extraordinary number of very talented young players. We are still following the youth development plan in that we're not going to sign any players over the age of 18. So we do have a couple of youngsters, I think, lined up. We don't have any youngsters lined up. I thought we had youngsters lined up. Have they already arrived? No. I thought we already had youngsters. We don't have any youngsters lined up, and we don't have any money. This is a good job. We've got youngsters in the youth setup, eh? Who needs sidings when we've got all of that lovely goodness to play with? It'll be absolutely fine. Mendes has won the Conference League Golden Boot. What a wonderful prize for him. He's also won the Conference League Young Player of the Year. And that stings a bit. That's the Conference League team of the season. They're mostly our players. Utrecht have got, is he one of theirs? No, that's Hearts. Utrecht, who actually won it. No, he's Fiorentina. He's at Bohemian. They have zero. Utrecht, who won the thing, have 0 players in the team of the season. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We absolutely should have won that tournament, shouldn't we? Whoopsie doodah. And the only way we got to spend money this summer just gone was selling Trincao. So I don't want to avoid another Trincao. I would need to work out who my next Trincao is going to be. Who's going to be sold on for 40 or 50 million to allow us to actually spend some money this summer? There doesn't seem to be anyone after Mendes. I'd quite like it to be Ribeiro because he's 25. We've got Mendes who's coming through and really needs to just start. He only started 9 league games this season just gone. Despite doing extraordinary things in Europe, 13 goals from 13 starts in the Conference League, only started 9 games domestically and scored 4 goals. So Mendes needs to step up in the league. We want someone to come in for Ribeiro. So if Newcastle can come in and give us 50 or 60 million for Ribeiro, that's our summer spensies sorted. Right, club vision, work within the budget, easy. Play high tempo pressing football. Are they actually going to force me to go gegenpress? This is high tempo pressing, isn't it? No, this is fine. We're going to do the gegenpress. You forced me. We'll do the gegenpress. If that's what you want, we're moving to the Gegenpress because the board are making me. They want me to qualify for the Champions. Oh, I was going to say, we've already qualified. Be competitive, which I think just means, I mean, it's not even clear what that means. What does that mean? Just not get knocked out of the league stage, finish top 24, I guess is fine. Now, they're never asking me to win the league, which is weird because we've just won the league. You'd think they'd be keen for me to carry on doing that, but let's tell the boys we're going to qualify for the Champions League. They are happy with that. And then we're going to win the Champions League. That's why we didn't win the Conference League. We didn't want to waste a European win on the Conference League. We wanted to win the big one. Right, we are going to go to the United States of America on our preseason tour, and we're going to have a lovely old time there. There we go. Season review o'clock. So, signing of the season. Nikiforos Karasaridis. Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you're only signing 18-year-olds. He was rubbish, and he's the signing of the season. Why Gonzalez didn't win signing of the season, I don't know. I would argue he was probably a better signing. But fine. Karasaridis is having a lovely old time. We were supposed to qualify for the Champions League, and we won the league. With that, I mean, we went from 6th to winning the league. What a hero. Only 61% of our ground is being filled, though. That's something we need to work on. This is why I can't go to a match. Can't go to a match until I know they're going to fill the stadium. I don't want to be there for a half-full stadium. That's pathetic. Ribeiro is one that I'm definitely considering selling. I think he's probably the one. Although Thomas is another one, maybe. DJ Glover won signing of the season. DJ Glover, are you in? You won goal of the season. I don't even remember you scoring, but apparently you did, and it was goal of the season. Ribeiro wins player of the year. Veloso dos Santos, young player of the year. Mendes, top scorer, despite only getting 4 in the league. Galoob at 22, got 20 assists. This is all very positive stuff. Very, very positive. Mendes is a genuine wonder kid as well. We really need to shift all the strikers out of his way so he can start every match for us next season. He won the next gen. He won all these awards in Europe, but barely played in Portugal. We've got to build the team around him now and hope we don't sell him. Okay. This guy's wanted by Liverpool, Manchester City, and Club Brugge. So he might be someone we probably want to buy. We want to buy this one. Can we have him, please? We might need to spend £1 million. Okay, we'll spend £1 million. This guy is wanted by Porto and he's relatively cheap as well. So I guess on that basis, we'll just get him as well. Oh, but he's English. Hold on. Has he got a second nationality? Because we can't be having non-EU. He's English and Iranian. He could be the next Michael Owen. Oh, do we make an exception for the next Michael Owen? So he's come through. He was born in Stockport, but he's come through in Iran. And he's the next Michael Owen. I mean, how many non-EU players are we allowed? We're just going to get him anyway, because that's bonkers, what we've just seen there. Right, we are getting the next Michael Owen. We're not even going to find out if he's any good until the 1st of July. The lack of haggling on wage negotiations does stress me out at times. Are you the club accountant? That's so cool. We've got Sporting's club accountant in the actual chat. Because I can only imagine that would be the only person who would care about the wage negotiations. Because for me, as the first team manager, I don't care what they're earning as long as we're within budget. So now we're back to what we were doing before, just waiting for someone to be sold. We've bought the 2 young players we could afford. So now we're just waiting for anyone really good to show up on a scout report that we could swoop in and buy. And then waiting for someone to be sold for big money, which would then allow us to spend a little bit more. We are going to, realistically, we're Sporting. We've got to sell at least one player for mega money every summer. Here we go. Here we go, boys and girls. I mean, I would have liked a bit more money. But, I mean, this will do. This gets the job done. This clears a gap in the squad for Mendes to be our starting striker and gives us like £20 million to spend on players this summer because he came through our youth system. So there's going to be no horrible clauses. We've got our 48% revenue retained. Boom. Right, Ribeiro has got, or is going to Newcastle, means we get £18 million of spensies. I can certainly live with £18 million of spensies, especially as it opens up a gap for Mendes in the first team. I just got an achievement called Legend, and I don't know what it was for. Legend. You won Manager of the Year 5 times. There you go, non-league legend complete. I am now officially a legend. So, David Benitez, this is the guy that Liverpool and Man City wanted. He is in. 2.5 star current ability, 5-star potential ability. New right back for us. And then this is the new Michael Owen. Ariane Kalantari, who is only 4-star potential. So he's not as good as most of the strikers that we've got. And he even broke the rules. It was his birthday yesterday. We need to banish him. Banish him! He turned 19 yesterday. Banished! So all these 3-star current ability players need to come up. No, need to come up to the first team squad. So he's coming up. He's coming up. He's coming up. And then these 2.5-star guys can stay down there for now. I mean, look at the amount of players we've got as first-team candidates in our youth setup. But we are going to have a look at the squad in a minute. Not that we're really in a position to strengthen the squad if we notice there's a gap, other than trying to find a kid that fills the gap in what we've already got. But if we're doing the Gegenpress, so we've got Suarez and Calais as our 2. Left back, I guess Oosterwolde will carry on doing that. And then we do have a couple of youngsters getting ready to come through. Sergei Zhukov, who, did he come through our youth scene? No, we bought him. Did I buy him? I probably did. And then Leo, well, I think I did buy. I think I remember buying Leo. So we've got those 2 as backups way down there as youngsters getting ready to come through. And then Travassos and... So Benitez is kind of our second choice. We might actually move Benitez up to the first team squad. Centre back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean, we're fine in all these positions. Look at all these players that we've got. If anything, we need to thin this squad out a little bit again. We've got too many. I didn't realise he was only 20. He's a wonder kid, Raimundo. In my head, he was like a 25-year-old journeyman. There were so many good youngsters last season, I didn't notice that he was one of them. But he's a wonder kid now. Look, wonder kid, wonder kid, wonder kid. It's got 3 central midfield wonder kids. Lovely stuff. And then on the left, I mean, this is where we could probably do with some more players out wide. Maybe we'll go to a diamond. Maybe we'll go to a diamond. But then that means we can't use Galoob. Right, for as long as we keep Galoob, we stick with this system. As soon as Galoob is done, we've got like 5 strikers who could all play regularly. So I think we go to a diamond once Galoob leaves. Right, how much money have we got? 23 gazillion pounds. Right, who are you wanted by? Dortmund. Dortmund usually can usually pick a young player. And he's a left back, which is what we actually need. Yeah, we're having this guy. Minimum of 7 first-year senior players in the squad. Geez, so we have to have 7 young players come through every year. Wowzers. I mean, we will, but that's still quite the ask. Miguelito isn't good enough. He is 3-star, 4-star with a value of £10 million. and my assistant manager thinks he's not good enough, which I guess is actually a fair assessment. We've got Thiago Thomas, who's already established at the club. We've got Mendes, who's the next-gen winner, who's 3 years younger than him. There's this guy coming through who's as good as him and 3 years younger than him. There's this guy coming through who's 3 years younger and as good as him. So actually, in isolation, although you look at that and think, decent player, what we should actually probably be looking at is thinking, should we get 10 million for him now? Because he's never going to actually be good enough to play for us. I see. That's fine. We'll take that. 6 million now, rising to 9.25 with 20% of the next transfer fee. Yeah, that is the mark. If clubs want to give us that for him, we will take that. Right, this guy's only got 4-star potential after all that kerfuffle, but he has been given the number 75, and that makes me happy because that's his forever number now. Right, we have a new winger, João Magalhães, who we've plucked from the 3rd tier and stuck straight in our under-19s, because that's the sort of thing we can do, because we're a big, fancy, big club. We're big and fancy. We can't buy him because obviously he's over 18. But my director of football wants to buy him. We make an exception. No, of course we don't. Right, come on then, let's do a football. We want to do a football, and seeing that lovely green kit reminds me that I still don't own one. Has anyone found me a 3XL sporting kit yet? Although, if I carry on with gallstones for much longer, I imagine a 2XL will be fine. Maybe we'll just get that. We'll amend the search. We now will take a 2XL sporting shirt. If we can find a 2XL, I will take a 2XL. I feel like they had a 2-for-1 offer, and I already bought it. And now I'm just waiting for it to be delivered. Disky Rick, thank you very much for 2 months. And Charisma's getting himself sent off because this is what happens in big games. And for Sheepdog for the eventual best thing from. We could do that. Both turn up in our sporting shirts. Our last season's sporting shirts, because by the time I actually go, it'll be next season now. There's no way to fit that in before the end of the season. So we'll look like proper ultras turning up in the previous year's kit. Well, I need someone in Portugal then, or I need to go to Portugal. There must be someone in Portugal who can get a 2-for-1. Here you go. Here's a deal. If you live in Portugal, do the 2-for-1, keep one, send me the other. So get it 2-for-1 to your house. You can keep one of them. Send me the other one. I think we're probably going to go back to the 4-3-3 if this doesn't look good in this match, because I think our squad suits a 4-3-3 better. I appear to be free. Well, that seems like a much more sensible way to go about it. Where you going, the next person you employ will be Sheepdog. I mean, that would make sense. I'm now sat here daydreaming about an alternate universe where I went to Sporting versus Arsenal in the last round. Arsenal didn't bottle it. And then I got to see Juventus versus Arsenal in the next round. And I accidentally get to follow Arsenal's run to a European final and call it a business expense. But clearly, the world hasn't worked out that way for me. Really inconsiderate. I've got 2. Well, aren't you fancy? Hold on. Newcastle have come in and offered £2 million for one of our high potential young players. You can bite me, Newcastle. No, you buy them when they're 25 and they cost you 40 million. You don't get them now. There's nothing you can do to keep me here. Well, they're not offering anywhere near enough money. Like 30 million is what they're going to give me. Can we try again, please? Not at 5 million, we can't. 20 million. Can we try and meet in the middle? Do you know what that sentence means? What's your name? Janique. Because 5.25 million is not meeting in the middle between 5 million and 20 million. So yeah, we will try and meet in the middle. That would be 12.5 million. So there you go. I'm doing exactly what you've asked, and I'm offering to meet you in the middle. You're an idiot then, aren't you? You absolute moron. You're not going anywhere. You can just fester in the B team. Right, well, I guess we're going to carry on doing this system for a little bit longer because it worked quite well in that last match. Thiago Thomas certainly enjoyed it. Right, come on, let's have a football goal, please. Oh, we might be about to. Oh, it's the Adamida special. Just getting your noggin there before the goalkeeper. Thiago Thomas continuing to enjoy his new lease of life as a striker. Ribeiro leaving was supposed to create a space up top for Mendes, but Thomas has got 4 goals from 2 starts up there at the moment. Mendes is going to have to wait. Right, boys and girls, I think we are wrapping up now because it's nearly 10 o'clock. We haven't got time to play another game. Tomorrow, we should, again, gallbladder allowing, we will be back tomorrow, usual sort of time, where we will finish off this transfer window. We've got about a week of transfer window left, and obviously crack on and play some football matches as well. We'd love to play a football match.